show, believe it or not.
Today we have very special guests who introduce to us their miraculous dream.
It's the weirdest dream that someone might ever get.
Guess who saved the sisters from failing their exam? It was Edgar Allan Poe appearing in their dream.
Hi, Carmen and Catherine.
Hi!
Now girls, tell us, how did this exciting miracle happen?
Well, it all started the night of our midterm exam.
Oh my god, this is totally hard. I can't understand anything.
I know, right? Seriously, no one's gonna pass this thing.
I wish Edgar Allan Poe had never lived to write such horrible gothic stuff.
Yeah, the Mask of the Red Death? Really?
I think we should sleep. It's not like we understand anything.
I'm going to bed. Nighty, sis.
Nighty. Oh my god, where are we?
I think we're having the same dream.
God, Carmen, are you even following me in my dreams?
Whatever.
Who's that?
Dear Lord, the man is coming toward us.
Who are you?
Hi girls, I'm Edgar Allan Poe. Nothing to be afraid of. You wish I never existed. But here I am, coming to help you study for your exam.
Seriously?
Yeah, sure, why not? Come on, ask and I'll answer. We don't have much time.
Wow, that's amazing.
Let's start.
Let us start by knowing about your birth. Who were your biological parents?
Yeah, sure. I was born in Boston in 1809 to Elizabeth Arnold Poe and David Poe. Both were minor professional actors. I didn't really have the chance to meet my birth parents, for they died when I was 3 years old.
Aww. Who were your foster parents?
I was raised in the home of Francis, Neeling, Valentine Allen, and John Allen. Even though they're not my birth parents, they're my real parents, for they are the ones who raised me and made me the man who I am now.
Okay, what about you as a young? Where did you study, work, and settle?
As a youth, I went to the University of Virginia, where I studied languages. As for my career, I focused on working for literary journals and periodicals. I became known for my style of literacy criticism.
How did you turn the obstacles in your way to tools that helped you succeed in your life?
Indeed, my life was very rough. I was an orphan. The love of my life, my wife Virginia, died. I had drinking problems and I went through a lot of bankruptcies. But as people say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. These misfortunes made me lonely and upset and helped me trigger the creativity in me.
Well, yeah, exactly as you said, what doesn't kill you can make you stronger. We chose to discuss one of your greatest stories, The Mask of the Red Death. Would you start by telling us why did you write the story and what does it symbolize in your personal life?
I wrote the story to convey to the people the lesson that life had taught me. Death is inevitable. In the story, I was affected by what happened to my lovely wife, for she was left to die like Prospero's nation by the Red Death, which in her time stood for tuberculosis.
Sorry to interrupt your interesting flashback, but we're having a break. Stay tuned, everyone!
Miss Lopez.
Be fast, be seen. Ferrari.
And we're back with our dear guest. Now girls, please continue.
So, Mr. Poe, tell us more about the story style, characters, setting, plot, and theme. How did you choose the sentence length and tone of the story to be like?
I used the grave and ominous tone throughout the whole story to create a dread-inducingly serious mood that would match the events of the story. As for the sentence lengths, I used long sentences to offer more details, to probe ideas more thoroughly, and to present powerful descriptions.
Great! What is very special about the style of the story that distincts it from your other works?
I clearly used an allegorical and parabolic style for the Mask of the Red Death. I used literal elements to be understood as symbolic of greater meanings. The allegories are presented throughout the story symbolize truths and generalizations about human conduct and experience.
Sure. Can you tell us about your thoughts about the main character, his personality, and his actions?
The main character in this story represents human beings. Humans try their best to push death away from them. They fight diseases to live longer. Prince Prospero is a regular person who, like everyone, does not want to face death. Unlike some people, Prospero's actions were selfish. I wanted to demonstrate to my readers the extent of one's attempts to escape death.
Why did you create a dynamic protagonist and a static antagonist?
That protagonist, which is Prospero, was a confident, fearless person who, when faced by death, turns to a nervous coward. This change shows that no matter how much a person is confident that his money or health is able to shield him from the unchanging death, when that person faces death, his confidence will abandon him, and he will be taken down by death.
I agree. How did creating suspense in the flow of events help you?
I planted suspense in the story mainly by describing the surroundings. Some of the things described are the 7 rooms, the ticking clock, the pausing crowd, and most importantly, the description of the scary, unfamiliar costume of the intruder. The suspense I created helped in grasping the readers and engaging them in the story's events.
Interesting story, huh? Let's wait to know how did this adventure end. But after the break,
Miss Lopez.
Awesome! Crispy wafer and a big hit of chocolate. Have a break.
Have a Kit Kat chunky.
we are back!
After thoroughly knowing about the story's main components, we would like to learn about the outcome and main theme of the Mask of the Red Death. How did the setting create expectations for how would the story's events and ending be like?
I set the story in a luxurious and isolated castellated abbey. The luxurious abbey represents the arrogance and indifference of the affluent. The arrogance and indifference gives hints on how Prospero's characteristics and actions will be like. The seclusion of the prince and his friends in the castle also depicts that they are running from death, which is inevitable. So the story will expectantly end in the victory of death over its fight.
Why did you end the story in this way? Why didn't you create an outcome where the protagonist was like most stories?
I wrote the story so that it will symbolize my real life and eventually everyone's experience. The protagonist believed that he could escape death, but reality proves that death is inevitable. Of course, reality wins over the protagonist.
What does the setting stand for?
The castle represents the futile attempts to escape death, and the 7 rooms symbolize the stages of life. I described every color of each room to match its stage of life. Blue represents birth, purple represents childhood, green represents youth, orange depicts marriage, white shows aging, violet shows decline of health, and finally, black and red shows death. Every person will start in the first room and end up in the 7th room.
Whoa, this is so true. The theme of the story was implied and not stated. How were you able to imply the message through text, and why didn't you state it directly?
First, I presented my theme by using the symbols that we previously discussed. Second, I, as a writer, have my own way of delivering my message. I like to imply it so that the reader gets engaged and try to find out my message by analyzing the events and figuring out what the story's elements may symbolize.
Your story was set in a specific time. Do you believe that the theme you implied is applicable to any time and culture?
Although the story has specific time, the theme is universal, one that applies to human beings everywhere and at any era. No matter what the circumstances are, the fact that death is inevitable is never going to change.
At the end of this special interview, Mr. Edgar, what advice would you like to give to the future generations who appreciate your work?
I would like to tell them that no matter how your life circumstances are, always have faith in your abilities to achieve greatness and use the hardships to strengthen you.
Thanks, Mr. Edgar Allan Poe, for your precious time and for giving us the honor of meeting and getting to know you.
My pleasure, dear. I hope you do well in your exam tomorrow, and always remember my words.
Of course we will.
And that's all.
Thank you girls for your time, and what a miraculous story indeed. And next time you go to sleep, thank Mr. Edgar Allan Poe for me. Now, my dear audience, thank you for listening. See you next time on Believe It or Not. Au revoir!
We can leave that old shit in the restroom. Young money.
You got me and I could not defend it. I tried but I had to surrender. Your style got me under the spell now. Left me no other choice but to get down. It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too